While walking through Low Brenn Hall, it's easy to notice that it differs from the other buildings on campus. From the out-of-place marble flooring of the basement to a classroom built backwards, Low Brenn is an anomaly. Why is this building different from the others on campus? Taylor Haywood has the story.
50 out of the 50 students I interviewed regarding Low Brenn had no idea about the two men whose names represent the building, or about the major improvements. Low Brenn Hall is currently home to the communication, business, English, history, psychology, and sociology departments. It also used to house the music department and a radio station for a short amount of time. Originally, there were 3 separate buildings that housed all academic classes regardless of the topic. 2 were then renovated in 2003 and converted into one big building. One of the buildings was named after a Jewish man by the name of Jacob Brenn and the other after Professor Fred Loew. But I wondered why these 2 men deserved the honor of their name on a building. Sarah Harvey, the campus registrar since 1983, had insight about the 2 men's significance.
Dr. Loew is kind of legendary. He was a botanist and environmentalist. He really did a lot to shape the campus. I know any trees that you see around that have signs like identifying them, that was Dr. Loew's work. He was a cool guy. I do not know about Dr. Brenn, I'm ashamed to say.
The Loew Center originally contained standard classrooms, video playback facilities, a student lounge, and a microcomputer classroom.
It opened in the fall of 1987 to give us more academic space. It was very exciting. It was the first new academic building in 25 years.
There was once an auditorium that was built within the original Brenn Hall of Science in March of 1979. It stood where the Academic Center for Excellence now stands, and was a project students raised money for to be a place for musical recitals and music rehearsals.
At that time, all the facilities for music were in a couple of old houses. Students saw that need and had walkathons for, 2 or 3 years, I think, to raise money to build on that small auditorium. Student Venture Auditorium, it was called.
Loew was a very hands-on botanist who sought to bring in different species of plant matter in a diverse way to the campus. Brenn was one of only 6 Jewish families from the city of Huntington at the time and was not a part of the church. The Jewish National Post, 1949, stated, "A Jew sat on the board of Huntington College last week for the first time in the school's history."
He was a member of the Board of Trustees and a local businessman.
That was Randy Newman, director of Huntington University's archives, talking about Brenn and how he played a major role in providing funds to the building.
A successful businessman who promoted Huntington. I think he gave a substantial amount of funds towards the building as well.
A tiny radio station originally was housed inside the Brenn building. It was available to students and faculty to help them become more familiar with ham radios.
I'm not sure. I think it was on the first floor someplace on would be the east side of the building, or it could have been in the basement. That's another possibility. But it was gone before even I was a student in the 70s. It was sort of more like a shortwave or ham radio. We didn't have a license for it. It wasn't a regular type radio station. It was just something that the communications department at the time was experimenting with for student training.
Steve Fetters, CEO of Fetters Construction, that contracted the 2003 renovations, explained in an email to me that the company gutted the entire building and rebuilt it from the foundation up. Everything was brand new. But with the floor levels of the 2 original buildings being non-matching elevations, a ramp had to be constructed to connect the second floors in a way that allowed for plumbing lines and drains to work throughout the 2 buildings in a cohesive way. But Mary Ruthie, professor of sociology, whose office is located in the building, liked the renovation but didn't get one of her wishes.
One thing from my point of view that was disappointing was hoping we could put a pitched roof. We ended up with a flat roof, and we've had problems with leaks. One of the classrooms, 116, before it was fully realized what was happening in there, the builders got it backwards. Like the front of the room is the back and the back is the front. It's not the end of the world, but I found it kind of annoying. Nothing catastrophic.
Features of the new Low Brenn building consisted of 6 classrooms with the ability to hold 30 to 40 students, 8 extra faculty offices and work areas, the Academic Center for Excellence, and student lounges. The project was an estimated $4.5 million according to Steve Fetters and was finished in the fall of 2003. I'm Taylor Haywood, reporting for the Huntingtonian.